Grade 9, we are continuing and we are looking at question number 3.2 where it said consider the number 60 and we are going to answer the following questions. We are going to make use of the 9A learners and we are going to start alphabetically by Nima. Nima is going to be providing the first answer for us. So list the factors of 60, alright? Alright, so while we answer this, we would answer it on the following way. We would write factors of 60, and then I would write, factors of 60 is 1, then Nima, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. You see, we already have Nima here answering this question. There's Nima on the board. You see Nima? Alright, 10, 12, 15, 20. Alright, so let's just continue there. 20, 30, and 60. Alright. List the prime factors is now you can do the following. You can go highlight for your own. This is always nice. You make use of colors. That's 2, 3, 5. Anything else? Only that. Alright. So that's the 3 prime factors. So I would write prime, P stands for prime factors of 60. And I would write it's 2, 3, and 5. Alright, write 60 as a product of its prime factors. Alright, so I'm going to use the lather method quickly. Alright, so what I would do, I would say 60. I know you have the answer grade 9, but this is for the people who do not have the answer. We need to explain. So it's going to be 60 divided by the first prime number, it's 2, so that's 30. And then if I divide it further, it's going to be 15, and then 3 is my next number. Then it's going to be 5, and 5, and 1. Alright, so prime factors, 60 prime factorized will look as follows. So 60 is equal to 2 to the power of 2 times 3 times 5. Alright, now we need to check your answer. A quick way to check your answer is you can say 2 to the power of 2 is equal to 4. 4 times 3 is equal to 12. 12 times 5 is equal to 60. Alright, now they ask you, give the HEF of 36 and 60. Alright, so this is quite easy. The HEF will be the highest common factor. So I'm going to list the factors that are the same. I'm going to make use of the color yellow. So I'm going to say 12 right there and also 12 right there, and then I'm going to write my answer here. Okay. However, I want to point out a few things for you before we continue. I want to point out, alright, I'm going to make this example of 36, and Emil actually gave me his book, so this is a nice method. I see at his school, his previous school, they did teach them to do this in grade 8 already. I'm not sure if every one of you know this. If you do know it, it is good for you. But this is actually beneficial when you get to bigger numbers. Alright, so I'm going to make the example of the number, determining the HEF of the number. What is the numbers that we are been using now? Determine the HEF of, what is the numbers? 30 and
36 and 60.
And 60. Alright, now what you can do is, I'm going to look back at this, and then what I would do, because I know this method, alright, so what I would do, I would write 36 as its prime number. So I would write, what is the prime numbers of 36? I would go here there. 36 is 2 to the power of 2 times with 3 to the power of times 3 to the power of 2. Alright, and then I would write 60 is equal to 2 to the power of 2 times 3 times 5. Alright. Good question. Can I also write 36 as 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3? That is also correct. However, you will see now why we prefer it that you write it in this way. Now there is a rule that says, or a rule that we can use. Now rules are in life, rules are put there for us to make things, to help us get to something, to make things easier for us. Alright, so when we talk about the HEF, we can determine the HEF of two numbers of 30 and 60. I can determine the HEF by simply using the prime numbers. Alright, so when we determine the HEF, all we have to do is we have to determine which prime factors does both of them have that are the same. So 2 and 3 is the prime factors that they have in common, and also you can see there 2 and 3. Alright, so if I were to do this, Arson, if I were to answer this, I'm going to say it's going to be therefore by simply using, because it says highest common factor. Alright, and now we make use of our prime factors, and then we say we have in common the 2 times the 3. Okay, but now mathematics is a tricky, it's almost like a beautiful woman. They are very tricky. They want to catch you on every corner. Alright, so if they say the highest common factor, you should use the lowest common exponent. Do you know what exponents are?
Yes.
Alright, so when we talk about exponents, this right there is exponent, that is an exponent, that is an exponent. What is the exponent of this 3 here? 1. And then what is the exponent of this 5? 1. Alright, so when we're talking about exponents, and then I'm going to say, what did I say? Although it says highest common factor, I should use my lowest exponent. Now I have 2 here that is the same. I have a 2 by the 36 and I have a 2 by the 60. What is the lowest exponent between 2 and 2? It's going to remain 2. Alright. What is what is between 3 and 1? What is the lowest? 1. Alright, so we write down there 1. If I simplify this, 2 to the power of 2 is equal to 4 times 3 is equal to 12. You see there? What did we get there? 12. Now why am I showing you this method? Because if you get big numbers that we are going to do now, and they ask you the HEF, are you going to write all the multiples down or all the factors? Like 60, you could have already seen that the bigger the number gets, the more factors it's going to have. So we don't want you to write every time all the factors. Alright? So if you can prime factorize a number and you can remember this method, you can simply just manipulate this method into anything and apply. Alright? So we're going to see if we can apply this method now by the following numbers. By number 4, right? The 56, 84 and 104 each as a product of their prime factors, showing all your working. Alright, and now you can see, so you are only asked in this question, they don't ask you to write the factors, they only ask you to write the prime factors. So I'm going to give you 1 second to do that, and you can write 4.2 as well, and then we're going to number 5.1 if you are done with that.